Magandang umaga! This is Pinay Mama Bear wishing you all a safe, healthy, and prosperous 2021. It's second week of January and we are in the middle of winter season. Aeoniums are winter-growing succulents. They thrive in cool winter regions. They will tolerate mild frost. My planting location is Union City in Northern California. We do get fairly cold winters and some nights temperature could dip down to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. In this video, I will show you some varieties of winter-loving aeoniums. This beautiful plant in front of us that looks like rays of sunshine is called Aeonium Sunburst. Aeonium Sunburst is a branching succulent. It has long, bare stems, large variegated green with creamy yellow leaves, and depending on the amount of sun exposure, you will see pinkish or coppery red edges on the leaves. This Aeonium Sunburst has been exposed to hot summer days, rainy days, and chilly winter days because it is planted in ground. Aeoniums can be planted or grown in grounds or in containers. One downside of having succulents planted and grown in ground is not being able to protect it from extreme weather because you're not able to move it to a shady spot during summertime. And so the risk of sunburn is great. As you can see, there are some sunburns on the leaves, and once there's burn on the leaves, it becomes permanent marking. Sunbursts are also easily bruised, so be careful on handling them. Sometimes oil transfer from your fingertips that creates marking after the sun exposure. It could be from high water pressure also when you're watering the plant, that you can bruise it or damage it. Even with the bruising or the dark markings, I don't worry about it. I still think that Aeonium Sunburst is very beautiful. The new leaves will sprout during growing season and the damaged leaves will eventually be replaced. Another thing is this plant could be top heavy. You can see how big the rosette is compared to my hand. And the leaves are heavy and they're big, so the branch could actually break. If that happens, you can just go ahead and take the cutting and propagate it. Our next aeonium is Aeonium Starburst. It is also a branching succulent, just like the sunburst. It is said to be that these two are siblings, but they have very different coloring. Starburst leaves also have green and yellow, just like the sunburst, but the color placements are actually reversed. For Starburst, yellow is in the middle, green is on the outer edge, and on Sunburst, yellow is on the outer edge and green is in the middle. The things that I noticed about Starburst and Sunburst, Starburst seems to be a slow grower and also gives less rosettes. As you can see, I've had this plant for about 2 years now and I only have one solitary rosette. And on the other hand, the Sunburst is always multiple rosettes and bigger rosettes. Our next succulent is Aeonium Kiwi. It is a succulent shrub with brilliantly colored smaller rosettes. Compared to Sunburst and Starburst, Aeonium Kiwi has smaller rosettes and the leaves in the middle or the center is pale yellow. You might see some variation for this plant. Some has more yellow and some has more green. Next is Aeonium lily pads. Aeonium lily pads are steadily slow growers. They have thick, glossy, flat green leaves. They do not like direct sunlight and they can grow up to 12 inches. Our next aeonium is one of the smaller aeoniums. It's called Irish bouquet. It will grow into a small bush. It has cluster of small green rosettes and does not like direct sunlight. Next up is Emerald Ice. Emerald Ice has even layered rosettes. It is variegated with geometric pattern. The leaves are green with creamy white stripes. The rosette stays flat and wide. As I had mentioned earlier, Aeoniums are winter growers, and Emerald Eyes during this time of the year, the rosette should be tight and should be open. But I have two rosettes here that is just the opposite, and I just wanted to show it to you. It looks like these two rosettes had not waken up yet. They're not quite open. During the hot, dry summer month, the rosettes of the Aeoniums would curl and become compact. The rosette will close to prevent excessive water loss. And these two Emerald Eyes have not quite opened yet, probably because of its location where there is no cool air circulating. It's just now trying to open. Our next Aeonium is Aeonium Arboreum. This is a tree Aeonium. It has waxy foliage that forms rosette. The shiny rosettes are green, red, or purple. They are formed at the end of the stem. Another variety of Aeonium Arboreum is Black Rose. This one has beautiful dark purple leaves that is almost black. The stem can grow up to 3 feet. I would like to mention that most Aeoniums are monocarpic, and these two Aeonium Arboreums are about to bloom. There is no flowers yet, but it is about to bloom. The bloom is pyramid-shaped cluster of tiny daisy-like flowers, expected to be bright yellow. Monocarpic plants die after blooming. In the case of these Aeoniums arboreums and other varieties of multiple branch Aeoniums, only the branch that bloom will die, not the whole plant. Just enjoy the flowers during the blooming period. Once the flower dry out, the branch will also dry out. You can cut off the dried area and new babies might sprout from the stump. Don't be afraid to cut off the dried part of the branch. You might end up getting more plants by doing so. Let me show you an example. I have an Aeonium Arboreum Black Rose that bloomed last year. What I did was just let the bloom dry out, and as you can see, I cut it off over here, and it gave me 2 new offsets. So Aeonium monocarpic bloom is not such a bad thing. If anything, it will give you more plants. Aeoniums are one of my favorite succulents. They have a lot of varieties to choose from. They are very beautiful to look at. They have striking rosettes that look like flowers. They are fairly easy to grow and take care of. They are hardy to 27 degrees Fahrenheit. They are also drought tolerant. Lastly, just remember they prefer light, porous, and well-draining soil. They are summer dormant or sleeping during hot, dry summer months. And of course, they are winter growers.